Dance of Sacrifice, Act 3. Flickering Candlelight.
我来保护大家。结霜，双环月，破碎。破灭了！冰浪怒涛，一眼还眼。
Hi everyone, Siroung here, and today I'm gonna help you decide who to pull between Albedo and the surprise of Mihoyo, which is Eula. They are both different characters with different playstyles. One is a support and one is the highest physical damage dealer in the game. Of course, disclaimer, you should always pull for the character that you like and will enjoy using. This video is for those who are still undecided and cannot make a decision after the 2.3 live stream yesterday. I am not that person who is gonna tell you to only pull for Eula or for Albedo. This is not a biased video. Therefore, like, I have created two videos for that, which is Albedo, and this video is for Eula. Also, I will not be covering constellations of Eula because having constellations of 5-star is not relatable content, at least for me. Lastly, if you find this video helpful, consider liking and subscribing as it really helps with the algorithm. Now, the only reason I am pulling for Eula as a low spender player who only spends in Welkin Moon and Battle Pass every month is because of this. No, not that. Rewind that a little bit. There we go. Good editor. Which the editor is also me. Well, you may call me shallow, but that is the only reason I am pulling for her, and no one can stop me. Jokes aside, for today, I have two Eulas. I'd like to thank my friends who quitted Genshin Impact and let me borrow these accounts for me to have content for you guys, because I don't have Eula, and I am one of you guys who will be pulling for Eula. The first Eula is a full free-to-play, low-investment level 6 1/6 talent build, which is using the Snow Tomb Star Silver, which is accessible for all of us since it is free. And the second one is the low-budget player who uses Serpent Spine, the Battle Pass weapon, and a crown normal attack, level 8 burst, and level 90. Eula is the highest physical damage dealer in the game. It doesn't matter if the enemy is a Ruin Guard that has 70% physical resistance, because once it's shred by Superconduct, everything is just easy for Eula. Eula is an absolute broken unit that has recorded one of the highest damage in the game, which is 5 million damage by one of the best players in the game, Tony 2. Eula is also one of the units that makes the game so much easier, as you can speedrun almost anything because of her. In other words, she makes the game easy. Now, let's review her kit, talent priorities, skill, and burst mechanics. Talent priorities, of course, normal attack and burst, and if you want, you can just leave the skill on level 6, but I would go for level 8 just because I like the character. Now, the Eula of my friend has a crown normal attack. If I were him, I would crown the burst as well, but obviously he already quit, so yeah. First, let's discuss the mechanics of Ice Tide Vortex, which is, there is two versions of it, the press version and the hold version, which is really important for our rotation to maximize our damage, and will be discussed later in the video. When the press version hits an opponent, Eula gains a stack of Grim Heart. Now, that Grim Heart can only be gained every 0.3 seconds. The Grim Heart increases Eula's resistance to interruption and defense. The hold E, you consume all the stacks of the Grim Heart that damages and decreases physical and cryo resistance depending on what the level of the talent is. Now, for this Eula, since it's level 6, it's 21% physical damage to a physical resistance and cryo resistance. The duration of the debuff is, of course, 7 seconds. Now, however, the press version of the skill has a 4-second cooldown, and the hold version has a 10-second cooldown. However, to compensate that, Eula has a passive talent, which is called Wellspring of Warlust, which, when she uses her burst, the cooldown of the skill resets. So the optimal rotation for maximum damage and stacks is to use press version and then use your burst, then use the hold version. That way you can have 2 Grimheart stacks, and it enables another Ascension passive talent, which is called Roiling Rhyme, which creates a mini version of your ult that deals 50% physical damage dealt by the Lightfall sword that was created by your burst. This mini version of your burst scales with burst damage, as you can test it with Noblesse to see for yourself.
粉化，双还原，判决。
Now that we are done in the easy part, here is the complicated part. Her burst mechanics. It has a maximum stack of 30, which is not achievable at C0 and even really difficult at C6. I have been studying Eula for the past 16 hours, and the max stacks I can get is 13. Also, when you read her talents, there should be a gap of 0.1 seconds, the damage between. That should not be a problem, right? But here's the thing, when you do the optimal skill rotation of skill, burst, hold E, and then press attack, you should be getting 5 stacks. But that is not the case. Here's an example of why. Now I will do this with a level 1 weapon and no artifacts, just to make sure it doesn't crit, because I just end up killing the ruin guards. And we can't do that because this is our test subjects. It's just to see the baseline.
冰浪怒涛，破碎。 粉化，金兵，断绝深仇，判决。
When you do the optimal rotation of skill, burst, hold E, you should be getting 4 stacks. And when you mash an attack, you should be getting 5 stacks. But here's the thing. The Ascension passive Roiling Rhyme overlaps with your current attack, Therefore, it is only counted as 1 stack. But we have a solution for that, as you just have to wait a little bit before you press your auto attack. It would be a quality of life update if they just remove the 0.1 seconds. But it is what it is. Playing and testing Eula for the past 16 hours, I have learned 2 combos that you can do in order to get the maximum stacks, which is 13 stacks.
粉化，双还原，破碎。 加快脚步，粉化，双还原，加快脚步，
As you saw there, the damage should have been the same, but Zhongli's shield was broken by the Ruin Guard before the sword pop. As I did not want to repeat it again, I will just explain that Zhongli's shield has a 20% physical and elemental shred on enemies, which made the difference. Now for our next part, we will be covering best weapon slots and artifact sets. Let's start with her best in slot weapon, which is her signature weapon, Song of Broken Pines. It has the highest base attack in the game, which is 741. But of course, I don't have it, since it's a 5-star. It is also tailor-fitted with Eula's kit, so hands down, it's her best in slot. You can also use Wolf Gravestone. Skyward Pride is also a good weapon as it provides energy recharge. And of course, lastly, Unforge, if you have a good shielder. For 4-star weapons, you can use, if you're a budget player, you can use Serpent Spine, Black Cliff Slasher, which is currently on the shop right now, Prototype Archaic, Snow Tomb Star Silver, Luxurious Sea Lord, and Aquamaru. For best artifact sets, I recommend going 2-piece Bloodstain and 2-piece Pale Flame, as you have 100% uptime on your 50% physical bonus damage. The 4-piece Pale Flame set is also good because you can utilize the 4-piece because this is a set that was created solely for Eula. Now, but you have to take note that this 100% that they are saying is just a 100% of the 2-piece, which is another 25%, a total of 50% physical damage. You can test this by yourself, and I have another video with Physical Official that tested that this is just a 50% physical damage. It does not make your physical damage bonus to 100%. You can also use 2-piece Noblesse or a 4-piece Gladiator. The point is, work on what you got. You don't have to have the perfect set. For primary stats, you go for an attack timepiece. physical damage bonus, and of course crit rate or crit helmet depending on what you need. For substats, get pieces that has both crit rate and crit damage. For our last part, here is a comparison of free-to-play damage build and budget build. The artifacts are in the beginning of the video. As you can see, the problem with Eula is before her burst pops, everything is pretty much done because she is just so strong. I was not able to get the maximum stacks, but who cares? Every domain or world exploration or even Spiral Abyss will be easy with Eula. I did this with no Bennett or Superconduct because if there is, it probably would be so much overkill. Things I forgot to mention while editing the video is that during the burst of Eula, your burst cannot be procted by weapon passives such as Prototype Archaic, Snow Tomb Star Silver, Skyward Pride, Xingqiu's Rain Sword, Xiangling's Pyronado, or any skills coming from another character does not count as a stack for Eula's burst. Now, it doesn't matter if you are a budget or F2P user as everything will be easy with Eula. If you made it at the end of this video, thank you for watching. If this helped you decide, consider liking and subscribing as it really helps with the algorithm. I've tried my best to analyze every kit of Eula. Have a good day and take care of yourself.